And after a time for which there is no measure, there is light once again. And when she comes to, Deluge has tied his defeated foes to wooden stakes at the base of the very dam Goddess Ororo was summoned to fill. Boasting of his new strength stolen from Ororo's energies, Deluge, flooding with elemental energies now, summons a monsoon to drown them all. However, Deluge has underestimated Ororo and the teamwork of the X-Men. The worship of the various tribes of Africa had caused her to develop new abilities. Recently, Ororo has discovered how to separate water into oxygen and hydrogen simply by passing an electrical current through it. And she quickly uses this electrolysis to provide oxygen to herself and the others. Marvel Girl uses her telepathic abilities, and from inside Cyclops' still unconscious mind, she blasts a hole in the dam, while the beast uses his massive strength to break free from the stake. Once he frees them all, Ororo begins to truly feel the terrible frenzy that Deluge was beginning to whip up. Deluge was summoning a storm so big that it had already begun to span the entire southern hemisphere. At the rate his powers were growing, the entire Earth was in danger, starting with Africa. And so long as she lived, Ororo had sworn to protect all of Africa from any danger. She takes to the skies, and she confronts Deluge. As they battle, Ororo could sense that Deluge's power was not simply to control the skies as she does. Deluge was being powered by all the energies surrounding him. Energies which now included Ororo's own elemental energies, the energies of her lightning strikes themselves, the powers of the mutants below, and the energy of the ever-growing storm itself. Fortunately, even with his powers amplified and hers drained, Deluge is only an equal match for Ororo, and she wrestles for command of the storm. She knows that it must be dissipated fast, or lives will perish from a storm that was originally created by her. She will not disappoint her mother Inette twice. As Ororo and Deluge battle in the sky, far below on the ground, Beast explains to Marvel Girl his plan to defeat Deluge, which Marvel Girl telepathically relays, and Ororo understands what she must do. She commands gale force winds upward as she simultaneously uses her powers to command a miniature monsoon downwards, compressing them against one another. Within seconds, Ororo has created a magnifying glass made of ice, which she commands the winds to keep aloft. Below, Marvel Girl again uses her telepathic powers to open Cyclops' eyes until his optic blasts are released and they flood through Goddess Ororo's magnifying glass, intensified. At first, Deluge enjoys the flood of energy, but Cyclops' optic blasts are not made of solar energy. They are pure concussive blasts. The continuous flow of concussive power soon overloads Deluge, and to his own surprise, he is disintegrated. As he dissipates into oblivion, Ororo's stolen energies return, and she easily clears the storm and repairs the cycle of life which Deluge had damaged by pulling energy from all the surrounding environments. Inette would be pleased. When she descends, she approaches the group of strange American teenagers, and for a moment, Ororo reflects on seeing their abilities. She speaks to the one she rescued, and she asks him, are they gods just as she? And to her disappointment, Beast replies no, that they are mutants. Mutants. The first and last time Ororo heard that word, she was fleeing the Derutas, and they had planned to sell her in exchange for redemption, fame, and money because they thought she was a mutant. She tells them she hopes the next time they are in her lands, it will be under more pleasant circumstances, and she flies away just before Cyclops finally awakes. As she uses her powers to complete her task of filling the dam, and then returns to her village in Uzuri, Kenya, as always, Ororo tells Ainet everything, and her normally proud mother seems surprisingly very worried. Meanwhile, in America, Professor Charles Xavier has observed the entire battle via his power-amplifying device Cerebro, a device which also allows him to locate mutants across the globe. Xavier had been searching for his X-Men since they fled an erupting volcano after a battle with the supervillain Magneto. But was it coincidence or fate which delivered his students directly into the protection of Ororo Munroe? Unknown to the X-Men, Xavier has secretly kept his eyes on Ororo's developing powers ever since he first sensed her latent mutant genes. Ororo was only 7 years old then, and she had pickpocketed the psychic Xavier in an Egyptian marketplace. 2 years ago, he forewent asking her to join his school for the gifted youngsters. For now, the little white-haired, blue-eyed girl is an adult woman. And although it is her mutant genes that continuously alert Cerebro, Xavier knows that there is something more to Ororo. Much, much more.